Kudos that you've made it so far. You almost know the very basics of a blockchain foundation. The important thing of this short clip is that you realize that there are three main categories of use cases that we've often encountered. Sound money, of course we discussed this already, and these new forms of governance split in two use cases. Web 3.0, so the new internet, the internet of value, and of course open finance. So both sound money we've covered already. Web 3.0 is the decentralized internet, the internet of value where you yourself own your data. Stuff like self-sovereign identity, stuff like peer-to-peer software, etc. These are all incorporated in Web 3.0. Very interesting stuff. Of course, it will take at least 10 years to build this, but ladies and gentlemen, it is coming. The new internet is coming, and more importantly, this won't be the final internet. People will figure out a Web 4.0, Web 5.0. So that's the benefit of us humans. We keep striving towards a better way to connect with each other, to work together, and in a more fairer system. So no more centralized parties controlling the web, no more huge data companies controlling our lives. You yourself are owner of your own data. Web 3.0, remember that one, it's going to be a big one. On the other hand, we want more inclusivity. We want more and fairer transparency and more and fairer finance. So we want open finance, finance where you actually have insight in all the transactions that transfer value from person A to B, without exclusion, without loss of records / walls, people hiding information, without, I forgot the third one, as mentioned, it's late, you probably already know it. Very important is that you have new forms of governance implemented in finance. So an example of this is the ERC20 token of Ethereum, where you can actually have where you can actually have a crowdfunding without a centralized party. So crowdfunding between peers, you can actually have a huge, awesome ID for some very cool software. You can upload your ID somewhere in a pool, and then of course people can basically fund you in a transparent way. Of course, what happened? A lot of people abused this system, and a lot of people got filthy rich, and a lot of people got scammed, and the hype turned. But the basic idea of peer-to-peer funding is actually enabled by these new forms of governance. So when we talk about new forms of governance, we mean stuff like this. Peer-to-peer funding, so funding without platforms that withhold information or ask for fees, or etc. etc. You see where I'm going. An Uber without an Uber, an Airbnb without an Airbnb, a crowdfunding platform without a crowdfunder. Peer-to-peer transactions, very, very interesting as well. All based on the same concept of smart contracts. Smart contracts talking with each other, creating new applications, decentralized applications, and even creating new forms of webs. If I continue, I always like this quote, like a blind man describing an elephant. We have no idea how it's going to look like. We have a very basic foundation, and of course there are some people around this world, and we try to catch them for you and try to interview them who can explain this way better than we do and are actually building it. What we're going to do is we're going to let them describe an elephant. First of all, we're going to give you homework in advance to figure out how does the current web look like, how does a blockchain work like, and how do these two fit together. That we will all do in the further deep dives. So hold on for a second. We're almost there. We're almost at the end of the very introduction, and we will always start. We're nearly at the start of the beginner's phase. Before we do that, let me check. I am going to skip next session. I think we already discussed this way too much, that there is no one size for all blockchain. So it's an under the hood technology. Realize that we're talking about something that you as an end user might not even realize. An example, you're using the internet without understanding how the internet works. The exact same way is that you're going to use a decentralized application without knowing how a blockchain works. So you now know how the car looks like under the hood, but we're closing the car and you will only see the front end. In other words, you will see a decentralized WhatsApp where you start earning money, or a decentralized browser where you start earning money, or a Uber where you don't pay Uber but you instantly pay the cab driver. That's how it's going to look like for you. And of course, there are multiple applications for multiple use cases, multiple blockchains for multiple use cases. Killer app for Bitcoin, money, killer app for Ethereum, new forms of governance. No one size fits for all. I do like this very awesome quote from Oscar Wilde. He was way ahead of his time. Ordinary cruelty is simply simple stupidity. It comes from the entire one of imagination. It is the result in our days of stereotyped systems of hard and fast rules. So remember the rules of centralization, as we discussed before, of officialism and irresponsible authority. So basically he's talking about the three main risks. Authority is as destructive to those who exercise it as it is to those whom it is exercised upon. Especially this last sentence made my goosebumps go up. Hopefully you've learned many things here as well during this introduction course. Hopefully we inspired you to continue to get a proper grasp of the basics. We get way more technical in next session, as well as we will go into the deeper dives of financial. Before we do that, we will finish this session off with the socio-economic consequences, but that will be a sort of philosophical, basically that's just me brain dumping some stuff on you. Really looking forward to this final session, therefore. If you can't wait and want to start, go ahead, skip to session 2.1. If you want to see how the matrix of the future on a blockchain looks like, go to 1.7.